Previously on Japan Alpha.
私はラーメンを食べる。
Yo, bro.
Yeah?
So, why was there an O behind the word ramen in the last episode?
Oh, you mean that right there? Oh, okay. Let's talk about O.
In our last episode, I introduced you to Keiko, the Japanese blue-haired girl who has adventures in my videos. In the last video, she used the sentence,
私はラーメンを食べる。
Here it is in full Japanese script, exactly the way a Japanese person would read it. And 私はラーメンを食べる means I eat ramen. Here it is with hiragana on top of the difficult bits for those who have studied some Japanese. Here it is in romaji for those of you who are absolute beginners and need the romanized version. Please note that as we go through these videos and your Japanese gets better and better, I'm going to start getting rid of the romaji. But for now, I'm going to provide the Japanese in as many different ways as possible to make sure that all learners get the most for the money when they watch my videos. Here, I've broken the sentence apart and colored everything so you can see how everything works. And here is the Japlish version. I wa ramen o eat. Remember, the verb always has to come at the end in Japanese. Those of you who have not formally studied grammar might be wondering to yourselves, what the heck is a direct object? Now, those who know me in real life know that I really hate grammar books because I think their explanations are way too fancy and confusing for regular learners. In my videos, I'm going to break it down as simply as I can for you. Here we go, folks. In an English sentence, we always have a doer of the action. That's the grammatical subject. Here's an example. Keiko eats. The yellow part is obviously the one who does the eating. We often also have a doee, or target, of the action. This is what the grammar books call the object of the sentence. Yes, I know that there's no such word as doee. I made it up. Because I think it's just easier to understand than direct object. Just think of it like the relationship between an employer and an employee. Clearly, the employer employs the employee. In Japanese, the doii is followed by the particle o. Consider this example. Keiko wa sakana o taberu. When I taught English in Japan, sentences like this, even though they're simple, would cause me a problem. Because a sentence like Keiko wa sakana o taberu would come out to the English, Keiko eats a fish. Or Keiko eats the fish. Keiko eats some fish. And even Keiko eats fish. My students would often ask me questions like, okay, which one of these four is correct? And I, as the teacher, had to say, well, they're all correct. And the natural question then would be, what's the difference? Explain the rules to us. And that's when I'd start to get tired. Now, you lucky folks have chosen to study Japanese. You only have to memorize the one sentence. Keiko wa sakana o taberu. And you get all four meanings. Simple, isn't it? And as an English speaker, if you're thinking to yourself, hey, wait a second. If it means all four, how can people tell the difference? Again, people can tell because of context. Anyway, here's my point. Clearly, Keiko is doing the eating, and the fish is getting eaten. And not to beat this dead horse even deader, but Keiko is the eater, and the fish is the eatee. And here we go with the Japlish. Keiko wa fish o eat.
Oh, okay. So the O is like the victim?
Yeah, you could say that.
Some people might be thinking, why is it called the direct object? Actually, there is another kind of object, and it's called the indirect object. I will make a future video where I explain all about what that is. But for now, here's a quick example. Keiko gives fish to her cat. That green part is what we would call the indirect object. The action of giving is happening directly on the fish, the blue part. But the to the cat part is an indirect thing that's happening. So Keiko's the doer, the fish is the direct doee, and the cat is the indirect doee. here it is in Japanese. Keiko wa fish o cat ni give. And of course, here it is in full Japanese. Keiko wa sakana o neko ni yaru. Okay, folks, let's look at some real-life examples.
Alright guys, I have stumbled on a hot pepper shop where they are giving out these free samples, and they specialize in peppers. And they actually will custom blend you peppers.
This shop specializes in something called chogo shichimi. The cho from chogo means to look something up. The go part means to put it together. So to look something up and put it together basically means something like prescription or custom-made mix. Shichi is 7, and it looks kind of like an upside-down German 7 if you know how the Germans write the number 7. And mi means flavor. So it's got 7 different elements in it that contribute to the 7 flavors of this spice mixture. So altogether, this is a custom-made 7 spice mixture. And having eaten it myself, I can tell you, it's damn good. Alright folks, let's quickly look at the instructions here. Step 1. Fumi o erabu. Fumi means flavor, and erabu means to choose. So fumi o erabu means to choose your flavor. Step 2. Karasa o erabu. Karasa means the heat level, and erabu means to choose. You can see there's an O in that sentence again because you're choosing it. Step 3. Saizu o erabu. Size is just the English word size. So they want you to choose the size. And then they mix it all up for you. There you go.
一番人気の食べるラー油のふりかけでございます。京都代表に選んでもらってて、卵かけご飯とか納豆を使っていただけます。ダントツで人気の商品。そんなに辛くないんで、これ食べてみてくださいね。どうぞ。
And here's one of my favorite foods in Japan. Gyudon. Basically stewed beef on rice. Now, I'll make a future video where I teach you how to read this machine and use it so you can get your own food when you go to Japan. But today, I want to focus on the particle o right here in the sign, folks. It says right here, right under that X, ボタンを押してください. Please push the button. Botan is button. O is what I've explained. Oshite means push it. And kudasai means please, or please give me. In this case, it means please. Now here's something I haven't seen in the West. Umbrella rental machines. Let's say you've just gotten off the train and you're stuck because it started raining really heavily on your way to your destination. No worries. In Japan, some of the stations have these rental machines. Okay, it's really easy, folks. The sign is divided into 2 different parts. One, right here, is kariru, which means borrowing. This is how you borrow it. And the other side, right here, says kaesu, to give it back. Step 1, right here, says download and kessai toroku. That means you use the QR code to download the software, and kessai toroku means registration of your payment. Step 2, use your smartphone to read the QR code on the front of the umbrella stand. It says right here, 傘立て手前の QR を読み込むだけ. And when you want to give the umbrella back, it says right here on the 3rd step under 返す QR を読み取り傘を入れるだけ. Again, you read the QR code with your smartphone and you put the umbrella back into the stand. That's it, folks. Hey folks, this is Mochi. Mochi wants you to subscribe. Mochi also wants you to watch one of these videos. Please, do the right thing. Make Mochi happy and hit the subscribe button and watch these videos.